Welcome to Dark Psychology. All our explorations will start from the heart. In the unknown world, there may be endless evil. This endless evil is also the theme of our discussion this time. Evil is an existence that we can all perceive but always find it difficult to locate. Where does the source of evil come from? As humans, we have reason to be curious and have an obligation to clarify. Let's explore this uncharted territory together. Evil does not inherently exist in people's hearts. Through observation, we can understand that under certain circumstances, human nature may be manipulated or even distorted. Let simple and gentle people gradually evolve into evil people in our eyes. Let's start with the Stanford Prison Experiment, which was conducted by American psychologist Philip Zimbardo in 1971 to explore the origins of human bullying. At the beginning of the experiment, the participants were ordinary college students. However, during the short experiment, the image of the students playing the role of prison guard suddenly changed. What was supposed to be a game scene turned into the beginning of hell. This experiment shows us the power of our environment to shape us and sometimes even change us. When we taste evil carefully, we must also see clearly the power of our environment. As a result, we saw the Auschwitz concentration camp in troubled times. The identities of killers and civilians changed, which was very different from the usual moral concepts. At this point we wonder, can these evil deeds really be blamed on the environment? We cannot excuse evil behavior in circumstances. People have a responsibility to take responsibility for their own actions. But more importantly, we need to realize that human nature can be shaped by environment. And we need to question whether there is room for us to control or change the environments that make people evil. Just like in superhero movies, it is often the environment that creates villains. So they are pushed to the front line by fate and become real versions of superheroes. But such villains are still unforgettable to us. A perfect example of this is the Joker, who is burdened with childhood trauma, an aging mother, and the weight of life. The indifference and ridicule of society may him eventually become the supervillain Joker we know well. Ending in the shadows, we see those people who have been abandoned by the world. In their stories, we see the cruel questions that the environment throws at human nature. Let us be open to understanding that those who fall into darkness are still part of our human society, no matter what they have done. In this discussion from Dark Psychology, we will dig into deeper issues to understand those souls who are in endless darkness. The topic resonates, but we need to go further, not just observation and analysis, but into those dark psychological labyrinths. Let us try to penetrate further into the souls of those who were driven to evil by circumstances. For example, we often talk about the family environment. It is well known that it has a profound impact on a person's growth. Research shows that childhood neglect and abuse have a huge impact on a person's psychological development. This is not only an inducement to form antisocial behavior, but also a distortion of self-identity deep inside. Take the common campus bullying in daily life. Violence and bullying are often a reflection of the treatment the bullied receive at home. Is it the transmission of this behavioral pattern worthy of our further study? As another example, how do we view the connection between poverty and crime? Scientific research shows that in a long-term poverty environment, some people may resort to illegal behavior in order to survive. And this transformation process is full of human struggle and pain. When a person is struggling in the quagmire of poverty, and when survival becomes the only goal, those moral laws that were originally regarded as maintaining social justice and order become less absolute. However, we have also seen heroes who have grown up in adversity, such as those who have overcome many difficulties. They have found themselves in the challenge and become a force that infects others. Their stories give us hope and make us believe that the light within can defeat the darkness outside. Zooming in and expanding the scope to the whole world, we once again return to the cyber violence that is rampant today. Behind this seemingly anonymous and harmless behavior, there is a darker reality. How online violence affects people's mental health, and how it pushes a stable individual into the abyss. All this depends on us to answer. At the end of the discussion, we should not forget to take a closer look at ourselves. How many times have the hidden dark side of your heart been brought out? How do we respond to these feelings? Can we identify the circumstances in our lives that may sow the seeds of evil? And how can we proactively prevent and ameliorate these environmental factors? Today's dark psychology does not give all the answers, but it opens a window through which we can see the darkness that may be hidden in everyone. In future explorations, we will continue to go deeper, not only to understand those who go into darkness, but also to prevent us from becoming one of them in the future. Thank you for listening. This is Dark Psychology, and next week we will not only continue the discussion, but we will also seek answers for those souls who are groping in the dark. At the same time, don't forget that every choice and every decision we make shapes ourselves and affects the world around us. Let us have more understanding, deeper sympathy, and determination to work together to create a better future in our next encounter. Goodbye.